morning.
Morning.
My name is Tatiana, and I'm the founder of Goumbook. And we launched the giveaghaf initiative almost 9 years ago already. Who was there the other day at your offices?
Yeah.
Yeah? Great, okay. So I'm just going to give again a very short introduction about the Ghaf tree. Who knows the Ghaf tree? Apart the ones who were under. So the other ones who didn't make it to the presentation, do you know the Ghaf tree? No? So the Ghaf tree is the UAE national tree. It was declared as such back in 2008. So this tree is a desert tree. It's been all over the UAE, millions of them, naturally, without any irrigation. But because of modern times and construction and new cities, they've been chopped. Also to make wood, fire, to feed the animals, construction. So thousands of trees have been chopped and they were gone until the government realized that they were losing on something really, really important. So that's why in 2008 they declared the tree protected. So now you cannot touch it anymore. If they catch you chopping the tree or removing the tree, you can be fined up to 50,000 dirhams. So everyone now is actually very careful. The tree is very important for different reasons. First, environmentally, it's a tree that doesn't need water basically. It survives first thanks to the root. The root goes down sometimes 60 meters, usually 30 meters, but it looks for humidity and water. If that was not enough, it has a trunk. The trunk expands sometimes at night to absorb the humidity of the air, and in the morning it closes up hermetically to avoid evaporation. And if that was not enough, then you have millions of tiny leaves that absorb the morning dew. Early in the morning there's condensation, and those little drops of water are absorbed by the leaves. So they say that this tree is a machine of survival. It can survive on its own. If you drive around the UAE, the dunes, Tualain, Ras Al Khaimah, you will see these trees standing alone in the dunes. And when I came to the UAE, I was like impressed, and that's why I started researching on the tree, and we found out how important it was. Now, what is the tree that you see everywhere in the UAE instead?
Ghaf.
Now that we know, yes. But the tree that we plant everywhere in the new developments, in the palm tree. So the ones who were at the presentation are not allowed to answer. But the other ones, do you know how many liters of water you need to put to make a palm tree survive every day? How many liters of water?
Up to 20 liters.
So it's up to 150 liters of water in the winter every day, and in the summer it goes up to 300 liters every day due to evaporation. But they've done a study that was published last summer that because of mismanagement of irrigation, sometimes the water goes up to 1,000 liters a day just because they open the tap and let it go. So, why are we planting trees that need so much water when we can actually plant the Ghaf tree? But the Ghaf tree is also very important for the local culture and heritage of the UAE. Thanks to this tree, people were able actually to travel. It was used as a landmark, so they knew that they had to travel and look for a Ghaf tree. First was shelter, it was shade. It was also food for their animals, their camels and their goats. They could cook with it. They would stuff the rabbits, they would stuff the different animals with the leaves. They would use the pods to actually cook the rice and cook the fish. But most importantly, they were able to actually make medicine. So they could cure scorpion bites, snake bites. They were able to make a paste to cure leukoderma. Leukoderma is when the skin pigmentation becomes white on your face or on your body. And Bedouins were able to actually cure that with the Ghaf tree. But if you ask a young Emirati, he will not know. He will not know the recipe, he will not know the cures, he will not even know that the UAE national tree is the Ghaf tree. there's a huge effort from the government. So 2008 UAE national tree. 4 years ago it's been declared by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid as a union tree. So it's the symbol of the union of the 7 Emirates. And this year it's the symbol of the year of tolerance. So it represents life in the UAE and specifically a place of gathering. It's very symbolic because you will find pictures and images of the late 60s of Sheikh Mohammed, Sheikh Zayed, Sheikh Rashid, all sitting under a Ghaf tree and actually taking important political decisions and gathering with their people under a Ghaf tree. So, 10 years ago when we decided to raise awareness about this tree, we were saying everyone, okay, you need to plant Ghaf trees in developments, you need to plant them in schools, you need to plant them everywhere. But people were like, where can I find a Ghaf tree? You couldn't. You couldn't go to a nursery and buy Ghaf trees. You couldn't go to buy desert group company and say, give me Ghaf trees. They didn't have them. So we started a program to actually plant the seeds. We do this with volunteers like you, we do it in schools. These ones were planted recently by kids, so they have smaller pots, but today you're going to plant it in bigger pots. And the idea was like, if we plant these seeds, we're going to grow new Ghaf trees and we can give them back to the community. So this is what we've been doing for the past 9 years. We've grown over 70,000 Ghaf trees, and then they've been given to the community. So we've planted in reserves all around the UAE, in schools, and now we have a program with farmers and developers. So a lot of developers, they plant millions of plants and trees, specifically in the borders. So now, due to, for example, the construction of Expo, all the different communities around Expo have a problem of a lot of sand and dust. So this is a perfect tree to put in the boundaries to create a green belt and protect from all the dust and the sand. And this is what is happening, for example, with Dubai Investment Park. We've been planting so far 2,500 Ghaf trees in the border that separates with the highway and Expo further down. So this tree has many, many different uses. So today you're going to be planting your own seeds. It's, I think, 3 seeds per person. This is the way we plant that. So with children, we use these small pots that then will be transplanted. But this is actually the correct size we should use. First of all, because of the root. As I said before, the genetic message of the Ghaf is when I sprout, I need to send my roots down. So when we have the baby leaves up, if we scratch down, the root is already 10-15 centimeters. Because the first thing that grows is not the tree, it's the root. So when we started planting 10 years ago, we were using normal pots and they were not making it. They would start, and after maybe 6 months, because there was not enough space for the root, the tree will die. So we decided to move towards this kind of solution that allows the tree to survive up to 1.5 years, 2. The root will go down and will start coiling. So when we actually go and plant, we rip the bag and we find the root ready to go down. And they grow very slowly in pots, but the moment you put them in the ground, the root grows fast and the tree actually shoots. And it can reach 4 meters in a year. So it's actually, if there's a perfect condition of humidity, a bit of irrigation, the tree is really, really fast and grows really nicely. So the first thing we're going to do over there, we have stickers that says that today you're here with us. There's a bit of space under the name of here, and you can write your name, you can dedicate the tree to your family, to your kids, to your loved ones, and then you put the sticker at the top of the bag, okay? Once you have your bags ready, then we will go outside to put the sand and then plant the seed, okay? So we need some quality control. I don't know who's... There's always someone who does quality control. It's very important for the bags to be full of sand, because the moment we start irrigation, the level of the sand will go down. If it's too low, then the bag closes, there's no sun, and so the tree doesn't make it. So it's very important to fill it, tap it on the ground, make the sand compact, and put the sand till the top of the pot, okay? Once all the pots will be filled, we'll make small holes, we'll with our fingers, not too deep because otherwise the seed is too low. Just the first knuckle of your finger, small hole, and then we put one seed, one only, in every hole. Okay, when we go into school, sometimes we find like 4 seeds in the same pot coming out. So it's very important, one per pot. Okay? Any question? Questions?
Up to how much depth we can plant the seed only?
One knuckle.
One knuckle.
You have to think that back in nature, these seeds fall from the tree. Nobody will actually make a hole for the seed. They are on the surface. So here we just make a small hole to make sure that if they water, the pressure of the water doesn't kick the seed out. Okay? So it's a very small hole.
How many days it will take for the first leaves?
It can be a week and it can be 6 months. So this tree is really, it's a wild tree. We are actually the first people to plant this kind of tree. There are some stories that the penguins told us that these seeds sleep. They have a sleeping mode. To wake up the seeds, we need to boil them very, very quickly, like 30 seconds. Because in nature, these seeds are ready in July and August. July and August means it's 45, 50 degrees. And it's 100% humidity. So the genetic message of the seed is that it needs to be hot and it needs to be humid. So to wake up the seed, we need to boil some water. When it's boiling, you put the seeds in, switch off, and it's like, okay, it's hot, it's humid, it's time to pick up. So we didn't know this 10 years ago, and so we were planting, and sometimes some seeds were coming up after a year. So it was really long. And then they told us, no, you actually need to do this process to wake up the seeds. So yeah, it can be a week, 6 months, but with this process now it's actually faster. More questions? So usually we do this event here in front of this room, but they're doing some piping work. So we're going to go to a beautiful area here at the back. It's an olive grove. I don't know if you like olive trees. But these trees are around 400 years old. They've been imported from Syria and Jordan. I personally love olive trees, so I think it will be a very nice experience to do this outside. The only thing is that it's very hot. Okay? So first, drink a lot of water, okay, before we go out. And when we're going to do the activity, just be careful because you're going to be bending a lot up and down, so you might feel a bit dizzy. So don't do that too fast. If you feel you're dizzy, we come back in and drink more water. Okay? But it's only 3 pots per person, so we should be okay. Sometimes we have to come and do 20, 50 per person, and it's crazy. You're the last planting of this season because after this I think it's going to be too hot. So good luck for today. First thing we're going to put are your names on the stickers. So it's, I think, 3 stickers per person. Okay? And then I'll take you out and we do that together. Okay?
My mind filled with empty lines, broken record in my head. Here I go again, playing back all the things we said. Lost in these shades of gray till
Yeah.
Well done, everybody! Today we planted 60 seeds with Kier and the team of volunteers. We do this to raise awareness about the Ghaf tree and the local environment and the living desert. If you want to know more, you can visit the website www.goumbook.com, that's Goumbook, or the dedicated website www.giveaghaf.com. Ghaf, it's Ghaf. Thank you.